All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to dive into our second set of the night. This time, it's going to be Flash Lux looking to pick up a win, looking to pick up a map win here for themselves as they go up against Kongdu Uncia. Both of these teams have suffered losses. Kongdu's at the hands of their sister team, and they were even able to take a map off of them. So it's still looking a bit better, but Flash Lux very much on the down. Wolf and I, we cast their series versus the NC Foxes. It was not great. Fleta did not have a very good performance at all. And I want to see if they have finally gotten themselves back on their feet, if Fleta can have that star-studded performance that we've been looking to have from him for so very long.
And I was watching that game and listening to the cast, and predictably when it comes to Flash Lux, you focus on Fleta, because even through a Season 3 where they won no maps, a Season 2 where they won a single map, it was always what if with Fleta. What if he was on a better team? What if they could really rebuild around him? But you're right, he had a down performance in his first match so far of Apex when they lost to the Foxes. Uncia, they ran over Panthera on control, but that was Panthera without Void, and against Void, they looked a lot worse. They looked significantly worse on the other map types, so someone has to win is kind of how you look at it. We just had a Group C decider, effectively, between two teams with one match win. Now it's a Group B decider of a different kind. Both teams come in with a match loss, and if you go 2 matches losses down, you're probably not making out of groups.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, it hasn't been a great track record for Flash Lux in the past. Like you said, 0-9 in Season 3. We're able to requalify. They're the team that has always been here, but have never been very successful.
Well, they didn't requalify for Season 4, are they? We're given Season 4.
That's true.
But they did requalify out of Season 2, where they only picked up 1 map.
Look, I can only assume that somehow Flash Lux still would have pulled it off if there was a promotion tournament here for Season 4.
Oh, Flash Lux are the highlight of the promotion tournament, because it really is Flash Lux in the middle. If you're better than them, you're going through, and they predictably are always that last team to secure their spot. But there's no promotion tournament last time out. Unfortunately, it's been struggle street for them.
Yeah, I mean, it was they kind of debated me so hard in the Season 3 promotion tournament because they actually looked really good. That's when Fleta and Vale were dominating throughout that tournament. I was like, wow, I really can't wait to see Flash Lux play. And then they did, and then I wish that I forgot all of it.
And you also didn't get to watch much of it because, they went out very fast.
Yes.
So this could be a fast one, but I'm not sure if Uncia is good enough to really just cast them aside and pick up the match win here. There's no guarantees about that because we're still learning about Uncia. Uncia have new members. They really mix things up as well. They tried to give them options. They won't be running dance in their starting lineup today. They'll be mixing it up again. So Uncia will come in favorites, but by what link we don't know. And there are Flash Lux fans here. I believe there are new Flash Lux uniforms as well. So Flash Lux doubling down and hoping they can keep their spot in Apex.
Getting some of those upgrades. Just need to upgrade their play. But yeah, like you said, against Kongdu Uncia, this is a team that they definitely could be competitive with, if not beat them. Something like a 3-0 from them. I don't expect that sort of level of play, but this very well could be a back and forth series, or at least have some very a lot more competitive maps.
Great artwork there from the Kongdu fans. Also worth noting, Achilleos, that these two teams have played each other on this patch before. During the September break in Overwatch, they actually played in the Big File Overwatch Battle Royale, which is a best of 7 played online, and Kongdu Uncia won 4-2. Now, the lineups have shifted since then. Other things have shifted, but there is some experience between the players.
Well, lots of really good artwork actually coming through. I have no idea what that one's supposed to be. It looks like a Pokemon of some sort.
It does, actually.
Or a Digimon, perhaps. One of the two. But I can read Decay, so I know who he's cheering for.
Your English reading is quite good.
I know. I've been doing it for a few years now. I learned at the age of 22.
That one, I believe, says Overwatch Apex Season 4 energized by Heart 6.
Wow.
I know.
Oh, my God. We're so good at this. Who needs Wolf to be here and translate? When
no one. Well, he's busy. He's got other Blizzard esports to cast today, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's doing some game. I forget what it is. Colds? It's called Colds.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the anagram, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Well, he's somewhere in the building.
He's in the building.
He's not in the studio with us, but it's all right.
We'd wave to him, but there's quite a few ceilings.
We're holding down the fort in the meantime, so it's fine. But just waiting for the players to get ready to be introduced on stage so we can dive into this epic, exciting series of Kongdu Uncia versus Flash.
That's some play-by-play hype right there. I think it has to earn the hype, but it could, Achilleos.
All right, well, with that music, How can you not be hyped? Let's go ahead and meet the teams.
Overwatch Apex Season 4, energized by Hot 6, Round Robin. Today's matchup, Kongdu Uncia, Flash Lux.
Of course, the Kongdu fans carrying over from Panthera over to the sister team of Uncia.
New uniforms for Uncia as well, looking very sharp with some anime-inspired Persona 4 style shirts here, looking good.
Yeah, not too bad. We got the badges all scattered around it. But is the new uniform going to be enough to, get them some victories here?
And they're going to want a new beginning. It felt like they can't really rekindle the Season 1, Season 2 people who were able to abuse Triple Tank better than almost any other team. It's a new dawn for Kongdu Uncia. No Rascal or Birdring, of course. The roster still in flux a little bit. They're playing around with their DPS players and also support on this day, with the debut being given to an old favorite, a Kongdu Panthera stalwart in Luffy.
Coaches shake hands. We'll be entering the booths, and it seems like we're just about ready to go ahead and get this series underway. Find out what our randomly selected control map is going to be. But like you said, it was a very easy victory for the most part there for Kongdu Uncia on Nepal, 2-1 over Panthera. Whereas Flash Lux able to be a little bit more competitive against the NC Foxes on Lijiang Tower, but ultimately suffering the loss.
You mentioned Uncia's fan group, and it's a great article by Rally Jaffa we shouted out last time about what Kongdu does. Of the Korean teams, they really are trying to allow their fans to interact with the players, and the reward is that a lot of fans have come in, even though Uncia does have the meager results so far in the last couple of seasons, hoping to see some improvement. Dance out Luffy into experience, a player who played in the Apex Season 3 final just about a month ago, comes into the roster, has to help the shot calling, you'd imagine. So let's see if we see a bit more coordination. We didn't see Luffy play at all, not a single minute against Panthera, but he'll be playing today.
Yeah. Not sure if you were paying attention just a couple days ago, but one of the former players of this squad here, Evermore, actually just
PUBG superstar,
took first place in PUBG in some of the trollest play I have seen in any game ever.
Hey, I watched Apex Season 1. I remember his flanking Roadhog, so I'm not surprised that he's a dirty camper. He's a creative player, so Kongdu fans of all esports going to be happy with the recent results. Let's see if Uncia can give them a last reason to smile this week.
Be liking that one for themselves, but we'll see how this roster is going to go ahead and function here, with Luffy starting out on support. Moving over, and also Ding here in the roster. They do have Damon, they have Dance ready to go if things should go south, but they want to have a strong performance against the likes of Flash Lux, because, again, it sounds mean, but if you can't have a strong performance with these players here on your roster against Flash Lux, then you probably have to go back to your former players.
And if we form a storyline around Flash Lux, they brought in 2 new support players and a new tank player. The DPS duo, even Vale has had some praise around him, is what stayed the same. We need to look for those 2 to step up. Vale and Fleta is really the 2 under the microscope. The other 3 players have only played that single best of 5 in their careers in Apex, and Wiso did a decent job on D.Va. We need to see the experienced core step up, otherwise it does feel like another victory will go against them.
All right, well, there you have it. No subs here for this roster, as per usual. Just going to be looking to step up to the plate, find some success, and have that strong performance out of Fleta and Vale. As you mentioned, they need to be the backbone for this team.
I want to see where Fleta has settled in terms of his hero pool, because he was switching around a lot the other day. Tracer, Zarya, Pharah, and Doomfist all played, Tracer was the majority at 50%, and seemed like he was actually taking over primary Tracer duty from Vale, who was their main Tracer player in previous seasons. But this is a team that has changed roster, that's changed around multiple different times. Let's see what they settle on for today.
All right, well, going to be starting things off here with Control. Salt Ilios in map 1, or series number 1. We're going to get it again.
When you say randomly selected, you say it in such a way that I get suspicious, even though I know it's randomly selected. So, for some reason, Greece is the country of the day. Back to Ilios, hopefully some Lucio highlights. What I'm hoping for here, Uncia want to start off strong. They managed it against Panthera. Meager opposition today, relatively. So let's see if they can at least take down Control two times in a row.
All right, this could be a back and forth one, but Uncia again, this is where they shine. This is where they beat their sister team. Let's see if they can replicate that performance. But then, for their sake, hopefully not fall apart afterward. But Ilios will be the start of it all. I think this one's going to go the distance, Papa Smithy. I'm expecting all 3 rounds.
Wait and see. It's a good prediction, but let's see how the Overwatch decides.
All right, Fleta and Vale, eyes on them. Need to have a strong performance going up against Kongdu Uncia. Let's see if they can pull it off as we jump onto the first map. Our last best of 5 of the night. We're headed to Ilios.
I get it.
All right, fans out here. Kongdu Uncia definitely having the larger support, but Flashluck still being quite vocal there in the audience.
It's good to see Flashlux fans. I mean, they've been around this entire time. Both these teams are, and meager results in Season 3 hasn't dissuaded anyone. But they open on Ilios. Saw a lot of Doomfist in our previous set. Fleta's only played 5% of his game time so far on the Doomfist, and Flashlux may be mixing it up again. So Doomfist McCree that we saw run in our last set may be happening here from Flashlux.
Long-time fandom here from these guys. So they are the dedicated ones here in Apex for sure.
Uncia really want to pressure Vale. Vale can answer both the Tracer and the Pharah, but not both at the same time. So if Vale goes down, it's going to be pretty free skies here for Ding, who opens up on the Pharah.
That's why that one rocket to the face onto himself is. So we'll have to go back down over to the low ground. It's going to drop in rather close.
They want to get Vale so badly, but he's staying healthy for now.
Oh, takes him dangerously low, but can't quite finish up that kill as Changchik almost goes down. Ding is able to chase in onto the McCree, finishes them all finally here. So that's going to be the first kill coming through. Follows up with the second one as he gets rid of Oberon. Good stuff coming through here from the Pharah play. It's going to be Kongdu Uncia getting that first cap in the end. 10% already ticking up.
Great target selection from Flashlux. They got really the only thorn in their side, compositionally wise, in the McCree taken down, even though there was some straight-on hits by Fleta, who was a lot of the way towards the ultimate there on the Doomfist. It didn't matter in the end. So we're going to have to see a regroup. 25% already accrued for Flashlux. For Kongdu Uncia.
Looking for a couple of those shots. 70, 80 now percent there for the barrage for Ding. Be a big opener for him. Flashbang going through, looking to pop free out of that mech. Will be able to do so. But Shu has been traded. Ding yet again just wreaking havoc. These rockets from the sky. Fleta will get picked off in the end, and Ding is just having a field day with this Pharah so far. Barrage is ready to go, but he can just hold on to this until the next contest.
And we were watching the perspective of Vale for a moment there. You see just how many different headaches he has to respect. Exactly. We were looking at him before, but he was looking up, he was looking around. He can't answer Tracer and Pharah. There's too much vertical axis going on for him to deal with. And in the end, it feels like together they don't do much. They have been able to put together 4 ultimates, but Uncia haven't been pressured into using any. They have 6.
And now with that self-destruct coming up, Ding has that flank around the back. Defense Matrix eats up a bit of the damage, but Decay is able to slide in there, finds the pulse bomb down onto Vale. But with the Meteor Strike, not going to be getting anything. Just has to go ahead and kite back with what little shielding he has left. Almost gets a kill on the Changchik, but even that would have only been a slight reprieve. They get stomped out. It's only a 2 ultimate investment for Kongdu Uncia.
And that's why most teams in this scenario would have run the Soldier instead of the McCree, because he's so easy to pressure. If he has to respect the high ground, he runs into a house. He can't run anywhere near the well, otherwise he can get booped in. So no value so far from the McCree.
Yeah. See The sound barrier coming down, now going to be answered by Quartermains. They push in. Luffy still has that res, but honestly hasn't even really needed to use it yet.
Nope.
Oberon jumping forward.
Vale dies first for a third fight.
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and take him down. Oberon zapping his way to success as best as he can. Will get rid of Free, but he's been losing out on so many teammates and just gets brought right back into the fight with that res.
You know you're winning when you use a solo res on a pilot diva.
And that is going to be the barrage coming through with the selfless arc from Wiso. Will go ahead and trade one. They get Luffy, and they also knock Free out of the mech, so maybe Flashlux finally able to get this cap here in overtime. Free firing away will get taken down as Oberon has to leap out of the fight. They have the Deadeye to try to zone them back, and seems like that might just be it.
Seemed like Luffy was celebrating a bit too early with the use of the res on just the pilot diva. Didn't have it available, then died in the next round, so Flashlux will not be 100-0. Very important for their confidence. Still a lot of Overwatch left to be played in this series.
It certainly is. Shu going down yet again. Ting finding that shot. It's not a good way to start things off. Vale going to get taken down. He wasn't the first this time around. Fleta died right before him as well, so it's it's a step in the right direction, as they will go ahead and get taken down, and that might just be it. Yeah, they're just going to get popped out. Wiso and Oberon can't get in time, and they would have been picked off rather swiftly thereafter, so that's going to be well going over to Kongdu Uncia.
And the weird thing about casting Flashlux is that, they have learned from their last series that, okay, we need a different approach. We're going to have a different approach. We're going to have the Doomfist being run on Fleta. They've ascertained that that's one of the biggest picks in the meta. But then when it actually comes to them making on-the-fly swaps to actually counter what the enemy is doing or what is working against them, they don't do it. And Vale went down and again, like you say, not the fourth time going down first, but the first 3 times when all the percentage was built up, and it just didn't look like Flashlux were really going to get back into that map, even if they got a single flip.
Well, Lighthouse gonna be our second round here on Ilios. Could just be a 2-0 closeout, honestly, here for Kongdu Uncia after that showing, because it's gonna be the same teams coming through. Not gonna be changing up anything, so if Ding is still allowed to just go ahead and free fire with these rockets, it could be a very similar story for Flashlux.
Flashlux desperately want to just dive straight into the point, into the Lighthouse, and use the ruse to defend themselves. We saw that same strategy be used in our first set of the night. They do not want to fight in the open because they cannot deal with the Pharah unless Vale gets a lot more space than they did last time. Better, at least.
Well, good shots, but yeah, Luffy flies over immediately to go ahead and top him up. Still now pushing forward over towards the point. He'll be looking for a shot, but takes a rocket to the back of the head. Has to get himself out of there safely. Now, shots coming through, looking for Shu yet again as Ding has this high angle, gets the damage boost coming through, and they will just go ahead and clean up quite a bit. 3 members still dead on the side of Flashlux as that first cap comes in, and Wiso, he's just going to be saying goodbye.
Bit of a wave away to Wiso. Flashlux should just rush the point. They didn't. Okay, kill on by Fleta onto Decay. That's a feel-good moment.
Yeah, but look where they are. They're shifted around to the side there. You have to wait for the rest of the team to go and join them. So yeah, not going to have the full cutoff like I thought maybe we would see Ding and Luffy go for.
But now how do you get onto the point? How do you actually get the terrain defensively? That's already the missile barrage used, rocket barrage.
Yeah, not going to be getting much. Defense Matrix helps out quite a bit, but they still are able to take down Fleta in the end.
This comp cannot get back in there when the defensive setup is there. For Uncia, though, Killers, I don't see what they can do, short of throwing 4 or 5 ultimates just to get to the Lighthouse, much less actually claim it.
Yeah. Ding's just going to be building up for another barrage. As best as he can in Decay's waiting with the pulse bomb. Looking around from the back. He's going to drop this one down. Might not even have to. Well, with the sound barrier coming through. Could use it to try to get through some of these shields. Shu so far is the only one that's fallen, but Vale, yeah, he just gets booped off. Ding finds the hit, takes him down. And a near flip here for Flashlux, but losing out on multiple members means that maybe they have to let this one go. But at the same time, Primal Rage is buying quite a bit of time, and Fleta is here, drops down with the Meteor Strike. Doesn't have the pick that he wanted, but they will get the flip in the end, 71%.
Yeah, Luffy was booped away as well, died with no obvious kill involvement from the enemy, and they can clean up. I thought Flashlux using Sound Barrier in a 5v6 would not work for them. Credit where credit's due. Pick up the flip back. Uncia have a lot of tools to take it back themselves, but Flashlux, both games will not be held to 0%.
They will not. Flashlux still not going to go down without a fight. They have that Transcendence to help buy them a bit more time here with the point. Have to be wary about that res from Luffy, though.
I've seen a single res onto a diva so far, so maybe reminded about the power of res in the future.
Yet again, opening up with that barrage. Miso just not fast enough on that defense matrix to keep Oberon alive as he does go down. Transcendence from Shu. They'll top up that Diva, buys a little bit more time, but Decay is just playing this one out patiently. Has that pulse bomb ready to go. See if he wants to invest it or not.
Risky to play in the house when the Doomfist is still alive, but they're pressuring Fleta out of the lighthouse.
That's one of those you're locked in here with me moments coming through, and Luffy just reses a second too soon, brings back free right as Decay goes down, but still able to trade up as they get rid of Fleta. The flip has not happened, and Flashlight has almost tied the percentage here. Sviel just shifts around, gets a nice little cheeky shot in on the Johnson, getting rid of the enemy Winston. But Ding is looking to pick up pieces. Nice body shots coming through, takes down Coma.
He's waving hello. No one is looking at the Pharah at all.
Well, now there's an angry monkey that is. He'll be leaping his way back out, but he's yet again almost to a barrage. Can just farm up onto this one. They nearly have the cap coming through, and Shu gets taken down yet again by Decay on the way back over to the point. Wiso popped out, gets eliminated. And they're gonna just try to invest in on this hold as long as possible. They push the 90%, cannot force the overtime. Kongdu Uncia will have an ult advantage now.
For a second match in a row, they've had no idea how to deal with the Pharah, who's been free shooting from next to the lighthouse and just punching people on Pharah more than any Pharah I can remember in recent history.
I feel like you need to just either try to match the Pharaoh with your own, because we know that Fleta plays it, or just go for the Soldier McCree combination.
They've never been a big Soldier team. Vale was playing it last time out. They adjusted, not playing it here. Vale gets the Diva at least, but there's the res.
Yeah, it does bring it back. Barrage yet again, gonna kill Oberon, takes down Coma as well. And now we're into overtime. Near flip for Flash Slugs. They'll throw out the self-destruct as a last-ditch effort, but overtime is just gonna go ahead and take away his Wiso. Got taken down, and that is gonna be Ilios going over to Kongdu Uncia.
If Luffy had a diary of that map, it would be Dear Diary, I solo resed Diva in pilot form 3 times, and we still won. That were the only 3 reses I made.
He's getting ready for the changes where you can
he's
only
already,
solo res.
Exactly.
He's set and ready to go.
He's playing the long game, Achilleos.
He is just getting prepped. So none of that playing on the current patch and then being out of date when it comes to the new patch hitting. He's ready for that new patch right now.
That's not good for the side of Flash Lux, that he could use his ultimate so suboptimally, and yet they comfortably won 2 maps. Ready to go, like you say, though, for the future. Who knows when that will be in Apex? We do, of course, stick behind in patches, so I imagine we're talking about pretty deep into the season. And who knows if we'll see Kongdu Uncia or Flash Lux playing when we get to that part.
Yeah, it depends on when that patch does go live. We'll see when it gets pushed out. I mean, could be something that happens in the round of 8, perhaps, depending on the timelines here. Or maybe it's for even further in. We'll find out. But for now, we gotta find out if Flash Lux can put a map on the board here with their own selection as we get ready for Hybrid.
They chose Kings Row against NC Foxes, but lost that map, so we'll see what they decide when they're playing against Uncia. And a lot of Kings Row after it being largely absent in Season 3. And yeah, let's do it again.
All right.
Once more with feeling. Ilios into Kings Row. That is our pre-break duo of the night.
All right, I'm getting a World Cup flashback, so I keep seeing the same maps over and over again.
But no Horizon Zero Dawn here.
That's
Wait, that's the name of the PS4.
I was gonna say that is
Luna Colony Horizon.
You are plugging the wrong thing.
I got a personal deal from Sony. What can I say?
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh
well, whatever. Yeah, no Horizon Luna Colony yet. Well,
no Horizon Zero Dawn either.
Yeah, that's true. Why haven't they been playing that?
Oh, come on, Flash Lux. Show us something. This should be the map where they can pick up a single map win, Achilleos. They're choosing Kings Row, but it's going to be a struggle.
It really is. I mean, already it was a 3-3 for Kongdu Uncia versus Panthera on a harder map. Uphill battle for Flash Lux. Let's see if they can pull it off as we move to Kings Row.
I get it.
All right, Flash Lux fans hanging in there as best as they can.
Cheerleader will have to hold her voice. Was a bit hoarse there, so
She needs some tea.
tomorrow is going to be painful. For Saturday, We're not thinking about Saturday, it's Friday night Overwatch action here from Seoul, South Korea.
That it is. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's Friday, isn't it?
We'll remind you at the end of the broadcast, but guys, the 3-day Overwatch Apex weeks will end after the conclusion of today's broadcast. Back to the Tuesday, Friday action next week.
Very true. So back to the normal schedule that you guys have been used to for the previous 3 seasons.
The Overwatch smorgasbord will come a little bit smaller.
Yeah. It's okay, because it means that we've advanced our group stage.
And Contenders is coming on the weekend,
Yep.
and there's plenty of other Overwatch to watch right now. Blizzard also streaming the OWPS over on Play Overwatch, so good to see plenty of top-level competitive Overwatch played as... Okay, Uncia, get away from the
Junkrat there.
Junkrat for now.
None of that.
And this seems to be their strat. They've decided that they are McCree and Doomfist only.
Just going to be pushing through here. Let's see on the attack with Decay back over onto the Tracer, as you would expect. They'll trying to go ahead and poke out. Gets a bit of damage down onto Ding. Not enough to kill him yet, though, as Wiso will be charging forward. It's a health pack, and Shu actually comes up with the first kill there with a biotic grenade.
Not a surprise onto the Doomfist, though. Often going to be very advanced of his team. Not going to be running Pharah on first point of King's Row, which certainly is a possibility on attack.
I thought perhaps you would see that, but I mean, it might just be a very swift attack here as they go ahead and clean up Koma and Shu. Both going down. Means that this is just going to be a one push attempt from the side of Kongdu Uncia. And we're going to have 5 minutes and about 45 seconds on that clock to go ahead and move to the streets phase.
I just need something else from Flashlux. They need to move away from Doomfist and McCree. It did not work on Control, did not work on point A. They're still sticking with it, Achilles. Yeah, big fans of that particular duo.
Oh, Decay. He's waiting. More seconds for this pulse bomb to become available.
Fled has already picked Chungshik.
Moving forward. He's going to take the ground approach. Hasn't spotted anybody that yet. I'm not sure if they spotted
I like
him,
how
but
we're
they
just
should be
watching
hearing
a side
dashes.
story to the main action.
Yeah. Secret Agent Decay. All right, well, Vale was trying to predict where
I
the
think he
Tracer
got
would
caught
be.
off by a piece of paper flying in the air.
That could have been it. Oh, Tracer!
Well,
Bomb coming through, not going to be finding it, but Ding's going to be finding a double kill. Gets rid of Shu, gets rid of Vale. Koma go down swiftly thereafter as Decay does scoop up the kills. And that payload's just going to go ahead and keep moving yet again.
killing fields were from Afrika Freaks earlier today. We're seeing a pretty similarly timed push here from Kongdo Uncia.
Vale just a little bit too trigger happy.
He was right to be worried. He just didn't know that the threat was in fact Doomfist.
He needs to pull McCree, get a drink to steady the nerves. Just not that coffee because it tastes like dirt.
Look, he'll have a break to go to the bathroom to have a drink, but he doesn't want to go into that break 2-0 down.
He does not. Well, Mana Boost thrown in onto Oberon. Meteor Strike from Ding, going to be dropping in, doesn't find a pick. Has already gotten rid of Vale, and Shu yet again is going to be the one that falls swiftly thereafter. He'll get booped back, almost in the range of that self-destruct, and will get taken down by the leap from Oberon, but the payload is still pushing forward here.
And if
And
it's
that's
been
just
moving
gonna be
fast
great.
enough that they don't even contest it at the last moment, Flashstocks are too late because Uncia died far enough that even though they traded down, they got that all-important second checkpoint.
Yeah, 5 minutes, 20 seconds here. I mean, this is looking akin to our first series here, Papa Smithy.
If anything,
Decay is yet again going on a secret
if
mission.
anything, it might be more one-sided. Achilles,
Oh,
which is
well.
hard to do. That was 4 minutes 4 if you missed our first series, was Kongdu's, sorry, not Kongdu's, Afrika Freaks' time bank on attack.
Okay, looking for a pick. Goes low, forces out the recall right as the sound barrier comes through and still has the pulse bomb. Throws it into the little corridor and kills Fleta mid-punch in the meantime. Free comes up with the kill onto Koma with the self-destruct. This payload, hindered at the moment, should start moving yet again as Wiso gets taken out. And you can see Flashlight kind of grouping up for one last-ditch effort, but
This is close to a perfect round. We've seen only just a couple of kills from Flashstocks the entire time. Okay, Koma pops the ultimate.
sound barrier comes down, but Oberon just gets chewed through immediately. The Discord Orb doing so much work for the side of Kongdu and see as they look for the completion.
Transcendence also used.
Got this one ready to go. Meteor Strike coming through. Not going to be timed well enough to get the kill, but answering is Luffy with his own, keeping everybody topped up as they try to get this completion. Dingo's very far forward, gets taken out by the enemies, and Yada, as this quartermain, they might have finally won the fight and stopped the payload. Just 2.38 meters in front of the completion.
They're on the point, they're
I
stopping
say
it
that,
from
but
going
it's actually
over.
moving forward. They have to get on at point 44. Right as Shu and Wiso jump in, but Shu goes down. Pulse bomb in on the Wiso. Will knock him out. Now the self-destruct. Wiso's dead. That's got to be it. Oh, so close to actually walking away with a one fight was Flashlux. They almost had the delay. But Kongdu Uncia, they get it in the end anyway.
Yeah, only 2 picks, didn't matter because of where they were. Once again, there was diving away from the payload and they were able to push it closer. Great work on the Diva there to chase down respawns. Meant they weren't able to contest the cart. Now 3 minutes 53, 11 seconds slower, but still a mountain of time compared to normal King's Row completion times. And you look at the faces of the Flashlux players, 3 of them new. They still look defeated.
Looking a little bit antsy there as well. I mean, he, from the start of this series, has been the one getting targeted out time and time again alongside Vale. I mean, Ding, with that performance on Pharah, I would have PTSD at this point.
It's a struggle. You know, Flashlux, they aren't one of our contenders. They are a team that has always been around. You feel good seeing them in the list because they've been around since the start, one of those stalwarts, but I know it sounds harsh, but one of the big reasons they're in Apex Season 4 was that they were auto-seeded in. They didn't have to play in another qualifier, so seeing them here, they do look pretty handedly our worst team, even compared to someone like Metabellum, who struggled a lot at the start. Their first match was poor, but their second match was a lot better.
Hey man, Metabellum 3-0'd LW Blue.
You know, history will say that. There'll probably be a little one of those asterisks there, though, Achilleos.
Oh dear.
Haven't won a map since Season 2 of Apex, and of course the off-season Super Week between Season 2 and 3 for Flashlux, as Chungshik just has a moment to reflect. He's not eating peanut butter, so I don't have a natural time to ask you about your peanut butter tendencies, Achilleos.
Crunchy.
Good man. But you've learned to say that. That's the right choice.
No, I haven't learned to say that. I mean, I learned to say that when I was like 3, when I realized, oh yeah.
Well, I've learned to say Flutter's moving off the Doomfist. Bastion time.
Okay, well, here we go. Attack Bastion, going to be coming through for Fleta as he tries this one out. Last time they played, he played 7 different heroes on King's Row.
Uncia has defensive dive, and dive can undo or be mown down by a Bastion. It goes really good or really bad.
Bubble is getting dropped. Heal the Night coming through. Keeps himself alive at the moment, and Flashlux has just shifted himself back around where they can kind of proxy the members of Kongdu Uncia if they can get the kills, but Decay is going to be one of those slippery ones that can actually get past them. So this is very much going to be in favor of Kongdu Uncia, and now, yeah, it's just going to be cleaning up the kills. Sleep Dart into punch onto Wiso. Vale goes down. Ding is just popping off with the Doomfist.
A pre-planned strategy from Flashlux. They went straight through the hotel to use the terrain where they were to erect basically a new sort of defensive position for the Bastion. Weren't able to cement it. K doesn't have a lot of his pulse bomb, and pulse bomb is one of the best ways to take down a Bastion. Is, well, Bastion's camping.
Yeah, Ding punching his way through, trying to get the kill. Now Meteor Strike, great spot for it, but doesn't quite have the connection, and now the charge is there to answer. Ding will go down, but Fleta has been picked up as
Vale's free hitting.
Also goes forward. Comes up with 2, and Vale is free hitting, trying to get these kills, gets the stun in, but that's still a very, very angry Chungshik. Smacks him down with the Primal Rage, and Kongdu Uncia will maintain the hold, but it's going to be the ulti lead going over to the side of Flashlux here for the attack, if they can make these work.
I mean,
with
configuration tank with nano boost, a boosted tank with also a Reinhardt in front of him is a possibility, and that's pretty hard to deal with for any team. They don't have sound barrier yet.
Bomb coming through, finds Coma. Just like that, they have to go ahead and stop. Pin will come down, they push Chungshik away. They get the kill on him is going to be the question. Fire Strike not going to connect, but yeah, he's out in the middle of nowhere. He will get taken down, but so will the enemy team as Oberon gets punched.
And now, honestly, if you're Uncia with your defensive dive, stop them from getting into position with their ultimates. Just proxy members, look for a dive. A single pick like they got onto Coma is enough to stop what could be potentially a deadly onslaught from Flashlux. Flashlux is not playing for time bank anymore. They will lose to Uncia in that, but they do have a chance of getting point A.
Oh, well, that's going to be Shu getting taken down, and it's just these picks that come through onto these support members instantly on the push.
I mean,
it just shuts it down time and time again.
Because they're playing as if the Reinhardt shield's going to stop the punch, but it doesn't, Achilleos. You go straight through it with the rocket punch, and they're not safe behind that, specifically from Ding on the Doomfist.
All right, well, they almost have quite a few ultimates here. Looks like Fleta used the... Oh no, he just swapped off the Bastion, that's all. I was already forgetting that there was a Bastion in the game, is what happened there. Ding will use his Meteor Strike, drops in. Will pop Wiso out of the mech, and it won't be able to follow up for the kill, but I mean, they could just leave him in the Diva.
They could do a lot of things here. I think you can get creative if you're Uncia, because Flash Lux, the Bastion strat had some merit, but not really against the timer. They needed a quick cap, not an eventual cap. It's not getting one checkpoint with all the ultimates.
I was thinking in my head because he had the configuration tank ready to go, but then swapped off onto the Doomfist without really using it. Well, they're going to try to go ahead and all in onto this one by the look of things. The sound barrier does come down. Decay with a pulse bomb, tosses out, misses the stick. Would have taken down Coma, which would have been essential for them, but Vale also doesn't get much with that Deadeye.
Primal Rage out of Chungshik, though.
I mean, Oberon, he throws down that Earth Shatter there for himself, but not really going to be getting a whole lot with it. Charge not going to connect. It's a nice little swing in on the Chungshik. Almost takes him down. He's dangerously low, but it seems like he is getting topped back up by Luffy and Quartermain somewhere off screen.
Luffy's just never been pressured this entire defense phase. Healing people to full. May not have the damage on the Ana anymore, but the healing is still full power. Here is the last second contest coming through from Flash Lux.
So pushing forward, going to block what he can here, but the sound barrier is out from Kongdu Uncia, and they've already found 2 kills, both DPS members going down. Fleta and Vale have fallen. And on the backside, you can see both the tanks have been eliminated, and that is just going to be the full hold completed. Off the backside of a team wipe, Kongdu Uncia win Kings Row. They're at map point. And, well, this could just be a very swift final series of the night, Papa Smithy.
Flash Lux were the plucky underdogs for 3 seasons, but their play in this season as a counterpoint to other teams like Luxury Watch Red coming from Challenger and challenging the best makes them almost feel like a relic of the past. There is a big gap between Flash Lux and other Apex teams. That's what we already knew, but now even against Challenger teams, it feels like almost every opposition, they look outclassed, and they thought they could do something creative with the Bastion, stuck on it for too long, and they just never were going to cap point A.
I mean, it's just the ultimate feels bad moment when you have the configuration tank ready to go, and then the team says no, swap off immediately, go to the Doomfist.
I always used to want to know, what is Fleta going to play today? I'm not convinced I still want to know the answer to that question, Achilles, and that's pretty sad times for Flash Lux.
Yeah, well, he didn't play nearly as many heroes as we saw the last time out. Again, it was 7 on Kings Row that he played, trying to make something work versus the NC Foxes. This time, it was just not very many at all, 2 or 3 coming through here for Fleta. I don't know, rough times for these guys, rough tidings. Now I have to try to turn things around as we get ready to move over to our third and potentially final map on Assault.
It's a short break, and then it could all be decided. Probably going 3 maps here, Achilles.
It's starting to look that way. Kongdu and Uncia fans at least have something to cheer for. Kongdu org overall can feel good about it. We'll see if they close this out, or if Flash Lux will in fact surprise us. Hanamura is where they looked the most competitive versus NC Fox's last time out. Let's see if they can have a similar performance. Let's see if they're going to go ahead and choose Hanamura yet again when we come back from the break.
에너지가 필요한 순간 핫식스와 함께 핫하게 즐겨라. 올여름 가장 핫한 리그 오버워치 핫식스 에이펙스.
Game, record, and stream without compromise.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Kongdu Uncia currently at match point in what could be one of the fastest best of fives that we have had in Apex history.
I think you said it well as we went into break, calling it kind of feels like a funeral here. You know, there are people cheering. There is Flashlux fans who have shown up in admirable numbers, but it doesn't really feel like Flashlux have been competitive. It doesn't really feel like we're going to be pushed to a map 4, and I'd love to be. I'd love to see Flashlux rekindle some of their good maps in history because they are one of the cornerstones of Apex. They are a name familiar to global fans because they've always been there. But it does feel like that's almost on a timer, Achilles. It's been so one-sided in this series.
It really has been, and they just haven't really even found any ground to stand on, going for the Bastion, investing way too much time in trying to making that strat work, and then not even giving it the ultimate to try to pull it off. It just seems like Flashlux does not know what to do in just about any circumstance. Honestly, they had nearly one victory as far as the fights are concerned at the very end of their defense against Kongdu Uncia, and then it's still got it turned around on them. So I'm hoping for their sake that the Assault map here could give them a bit of a turnaround, a bit of success, as we did see Hanamura picked by them last time.
I'd love to see Horizon chosen here. Horizon Lunar Colony. Look at that. I can't get it wrong. It's on the screen. Just because Uncia got smashed on Lunar Colony by Panthera in the Kongdu vs. Kongdu battle. We had Volskaya earlier today, and hooray! I got what I want. We're going to Horizon.
All right. Horizon Zero Dawn for Papa Smith.
That's right.
Perfect.
Give me the money, Sony. Where's it at? Give me that dump truck.
Oh, dear.
Well, if you think you're an underdog, like you and Wolf learned at the World Cup qualifiers, why not go to the map that is one of the least seen, especially in the Korean scene? These two teams played on this map in the Big Fire Overwatch Battle Royale. Was one of the 6 maps they played. Flashlux picked up 2 map wins there, but looked far away from picking up 2 map wins tonight.
Yeah. Even so, going over to Horizon, still going to be an arduous task for them to pick up the victory, even with Kongdu Uncia getting absolutely smashed by their sister team. Because, I mean, that's what we expected. So, we'll see. Maybe It was just that Panthera is that good, and maybe Kongdu Uncia is really that bad at Horizon Lunar Colony.
This is what Flash Lux are hoping.
We're
It worked against them
experimenting
last
here.
time. Why not go for it?
We're doing some research here today, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to find out the results. Let's go ahead and load up for what could be our final map of the night. Horizon Lunar Colony as Kongdu Uncia looks to take away 3 victories very swiftly against Flash Lux.
I get it.
Their defeats only make the fans stronger as they get louder and louder.
Doing a reverse Lunatic High.
Yeah,
If it has the same outcome, you're pretty hyped.
it's true. That was library-esque from the Lunatic High fans.
Man, Tuesday is going to be so awesome. It's going to be, I believe Tuesday is Runaway versus Lunatic High, if I remember my scheduling correct.
I can confirm for you in a second by...
Well, I'm going to
Definitely
confirm
not
that
looking at
Kongdu
a
Uncia
device.
are having a bonding moment.
Oh, this is adorable.
Sonic Arrow found them all.
Let's have a picnic before we finish this best of
Hey,
5.
what's wrong with a team photo? They're comfortable. They can relax for a moment.
Yeah, actually, well, never mind. I was going to say, both of these games are great on Tuesday.
The second one's not there
It's
anymore.
Runaway versus Lunatic High, and then Conbox versus LW. Oh, wait.
I mean, that match is sort of happening on that day.
Yeah, Conbox is going to get a 3-0.
Scripted.
Woo!
Runaway versus Lunatic High is going to be an exciting one. Lunatic High could go 0-2 in that group, Achilles.
They really could.
We'll focus on that in the post-match. We do still have Overwatch to play, as far as I can tell. K's on the Genji for the first time, I believe, this season.
He is just popping off, though. He just cuts his way through, takes down Shu with relative ease. And no, I mean, he has played this. He played this, I believe, on Nepal and was tearing apart Kongdu Panthera with this Genji. So it's actually kind of surprising it took us this long to see it from him, as they will go ahead and just get a very fast cap, as that is the trend for tonight.
It was all the team bonding we saw from them. They were in touch with each other. They were ready to go. They had their pause and photo moment.
Yeah.
Decimated Flash Lux.
If you want to get a fast cap, you got to touch each other. Or get in touch with each other.
I'll let that moment breathe for a second there.
Yeah.
Well, there's not much Overwatch to cast, so you can do your little peanut gallery moments there, Achilles.
There we go. Wrapping around the left-hand side of the point. Going to be jumping in. We see that Nana boost does get thrown down in onto Decay.
To allow him to build up the ult. Doesn't quite have it. There it is.
Goes for all it out, looking for the kills. Orb of Harmony in onto Oberon. Keeps him alive for a little bit longer, but ultimately will go down. And they actually knock Guiso up over the wall, so his mech won't even be contesting the point.
Speaking of contesting the point, Flash Lux should really consider that shortly. It's hard to do because of the zoning. They never get it here. 6 minutes, 28 time bank.
They even... What? They even booped Oberon. Ding punched him from behind to give him a boost onto the point, and they still couldn't contest it.
To say that feels bad is perhaps an understatement. We were talking about people with their pants down earlier. I think this is a group of people with their pants down. It's a bad time. Don't think of it that way. You know what I'm saying.
No, I'm just gonna let that breathe for a moment, as you said, Papa Smithy.
Oh dear. Well, 1 minute 30 to cap both points by Kongdu Uncia. Flash Lux could just be full held here. We talked about that funeral. The funeral seems to be rolling on, Achilles.
It really is. Oh boy. Well, that is a solo queue time bank right there.
I wonder what the record is. I'll have to ask the PD afterwards.
In competitive play, I can't imagine. I mean, we've had snowballs before, so that's true.
Anything like, I don't think there's been a 7-minute time bank.
This is still ridiculous.
Oh yeah, they've already won. Let's be real here.
I mean, they showed up today.
Hey, come on. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh dear.
Casting is an art. You start giving people the benefit of the doubt, even if historically it hasn't worked. But
you can only take that so far.
sure.
So this is a, press F to pay your respects kind of moment.
Uncia's defense just going to be pretty standard here. Soldier also to man the high ground. Haven't had much Soldier this series in Vale. Found a new favorite. It's going to be the Reaper. Reaper was a favorite on the World Cup qualifiers on this map because there is some narrow corridors where you can get max value out of the shotguns.
And that just, sustain yourself with the lifesteal that he does have available at the moment. Going to be Ding waiting for them up above, drops down, finds Shu right off the bat with the rocket punch, and it's just not even fair anymore at this point.
Well, the problem with there being narrow corridors for Reaper is that you're getting max value out of the hand cannon even from the Doomfist after you get the little squash onto the Zenyatta, so they're all dead, and there's some nice bank building up.
Yeah, as soon as you hear that punch, you better hit that Wraith form. Vale did not. And Wiso, well, he's just got to swap. So, everything that he had accrued for himself is now gone.
Wasn't that much, though, to be real.
That's very true. But I'm still it's just that bad. They are losing what little they have.
Well, he killed Shu for a second time on the first drop down. They got, I believe, a 5-man biotic grenade. Denied everyone's healing, and they killed everyone again.
I would recommend not going under this walkway.
Are we sure we can show this on television? I think we have a hard cap of 15 and over.
Yeah, I mean, when we play PUBG here at OGN, it has to go on after midnight
this
because
is
of the
definitely
violence.
2 a.m. stuff.
This is not safe for work at all.
No.
If you guys are watching this at work, then your employer is going to be very disappointed. Should he find out. Ding going forward will keep himself alive in the end.
Gets healed up, but falls down. Okay, has to ult. It's going aggressive, though.
Dropping down, triple kill with the Meteor Strike. Good God. Ding just dismantles them. Come on and slam.
And welcome to the jam.
And welcome to your grave. It doesn't rhyme, but it's more apt.
I mean, honestly, the only question I really have for Flashlux was, were they decimated before they started today, or were they decimated after the first couple of maps? Because at this point, everyone can tell that they are gone.
You know, the problem is now I don't even know what to tell them, because if they go to that walkway, he's going to drop down, he's going to kill Shu. If they try to go the other way, he's just going to Meteor Strike 3 people, and that's it. It just seems like there's really nothing they can do. We're down below 2 minutes.
Mercifully.
Yeah. Well, Nanovisor into the back visor. They will have that Transcendence, but Koma's still going to get taken down by Chungstick in the meantime.
Yeah, they're still fighting because they can boop them out of the radius of the healing from the Transcendence and pick up kills anyway.
Vale gets taken down. And, well, I'm expecting when I look at the post-game thread here on competitive Overwatch, I'm just going to see
There's not going to be a post-game thread.
Well, the live thread, I should say. When I look at the live thread after the games are done, I'm going to see that image from The Simpsons of just, no, stop, they're already dead. Because they kind of are. Well, they try to contest that high ground there, but Oberon takes a punch
using
to the
everything
face.
here. There's a chance. There's no support ult for Quartermain.
Sound barrier coming through. Shu. Oh, one hit from Dead, but they actually do find Ding. Fleta gets the kill, now opens up with his own Meteor Strike. Snapping him around the backside. Not going to be finding anything, but punches forward. But can't quite go up into the air to get the connection in on the Quartermain, but he will go down to the end. Shu finds the kill. Now looking for free. Takes the mech low.
Yeah, Fleta battling valiantly in the front line. Chungshik, though, draws out the Primal Rage.
He's got this one ready to go. Leap into the side. Will be popping Wiso away. 2 capping in onto the point, but it seems like it's not going to be lasting too much longer. So Flashlux, again, they get so very close to coming out on top, but not even getting a single tick is just going to be that final nail in the coffin there. It's just 20 seconds left on the clock.
And they got nothing. You know, they soon will have the Death Blossom from Vale.
Things like, you know what, I got that Meteor Strike. I'm waiting in this corner again.
Got double DPS ult, Nanovisor available. They also have the sound barrier. Almost inconceivable from Flashlux getting point A.
Well, Ding finds the kill in on the Flood to start things off. Decay yet again firing away with the Nanovisor. Has to drop off the high ground because of the self-destruct, but it's only going to be a minor nuisance here for him as he pushes back over onto the point where everyone gets knocked off.
Vale just wants to use the Death Blossom, has it available.
Shu has gone down, he's looking for it, looking for a moment here, but he's still dangerously low. Will drop it in, finds the kill onto Quartermain, and immediately dies thereafter from the Helix Rockets. And Ding comes up with the kill in onto Wiso after he got popped out of the mech. Oberon, the last-ditch effort, that was it. It's going to be the drop down there on the overtime, and that will be a 3-0. One of the fastest 3-0s I've seen, one of the fastest double caps on any Assault map that I've ever seen. And Kongdu Uncia put a win on the board after losing 1-3.
And it means so much for them, Achilles, because both these teams came in with one match loss. But you notice they're not celebrating. They're not jumping for joy, and you shouldn't. They did win the map. They did win at 3-0, which helps their percentage, but seems like most of the teams in Apex would take a 3-0 off. This Flash Lux especially, they look crushed in every way possible. Their rolls of the dice seemed half-hearted. And it looks like Flash Lux will have to look to the date of that next Apex Super Week, because there are also going to be multiple teams in Challenger better than what they're showing us in Apex right now.
Yeah, going to be at a -6 scoreline. Kongdu Uncia bumps himself up to a +1 after this victory here, but they need to conquer the NC Foxes if they want to move out of this group alongside Kongdu Panthera, have both sister teams into the round of 8.
The best thing about the order of matches is that whenever there's sister teams playing each other, people always start to call shenanigans because it's Kongdu and Kongdu, but it will not be Kongdu versus Kongdu to decide if Uncia pushes forward. It's going to have to be their own strong play against Foxes. Both of them have picked up match wins against Flash Lux, so they have to earn their way through by beating the Foxes.
Yeah. And it's just looking pretty good here for Kongdu Uncia. This was a better performance. And they absolutely shattered here on Horizon. But again, we do have to think about the competition that they were going up against. Flash Lux was able to be a little bit competitive with the Foxes, so I think in my mind, I would still say that Kongdu Uncia have the advantage going into that matchup in the future. But if they can't win there, then maybe we have one of our new challenger teams making it forward into the round of 8.
It's just so tough, Achilles, because you always want to caveat an underperforming team with a positive, with a shining light, and Fleta was that for a few seasons, but right now there isn't one. You know, the new players haven't breathed new life in. They rolled over and died. One map and an attacking phase in. They opened the Bastion, that didn't work, they stuck with it, and you kind of knew that it was done for the side of Flash Lux, so seems very unlikely that they will pick up a map win. That means they would have gone 2 seasons without picking up a single map win. They will face Panthera next up, and if this was 18+, I don't even know what Kongdu Panthera versus Flash Lux will look like.
X-rated, bring that one back. I don't know. NC-17. It's not looking good, though. But, well, we'll have a play of the game, and it's going to be Nene, who had some very good pulse bombs. We know exactly which one this is going to be.
Oh, definitely. He had some wonderful moments, did Nene, and instant triple kill. Taking out both supports and the soldier. Couldn't ask for any more than that.
Yep, it's just clean. I was going to say clean up from there. I'll just say clean up from there, from this side of Nene and company. But yeah, another 3-0 here. Flash Lux. I don't know, rough times for these guys. We'll see what the future holds for them, for the players. But, you know, that spark of life that we had from the likes of Fleta and Vale, it seems like it is dwindling.
Extinguished, gone. Other different objectives, sadly. But our first match was an excellent one. If you missed out on a Freak of Freaks vs. Luxury Watch Red, joining us late, really good series between 2 teams in good form. That was effectively the winner's match of Group C with how the maps have gone so far, and it seems like LW Red basically locked on to get out of Group C, whereas in Group B, Flash Lux 0-6 are basically eliminated.
Yeah, but I mean, that first series, if you guys did miss that, definitely go back and check it out. Was a pretty tight-knit one there. Even though the 3-1 scoreline does come through, Freak of Freaks put up a pretty decent fight throughout the maps outside of Route 66, you would have to say. But LW Red do look like a force to be reckoned with moving forward into the rest of this tournament. So other teams in the group, as well as the teams waiting in the round of 8, should have a bit of cause for concern should they be going up against them. But we'll get the current standings here as Kongdu Uncia does take that second place spot in Group B. But Tuesday is what it's really all going to be about, Papa Smithy, as we get ready to have those slides up on the board.
Yeah, confirming LW Red now 2-0, beat a Freak of Freaks, so basically locked on to get out of this group. But like you say, we only get one match on Tuesday, which sometimes can leave you wanting for more, but this is the match that everyone wants to see. And I'll confirm it in just a moment, it will be Runaway versus a surprisingly 0-1 Lunatic High, as MVP Space have been the early, really pace setter next to Panthera, you would say, in the league. So Runaway versus Lunatic High is one that has been Just a awesome match to watch ever since the grand final of Season 2, and even earlier in that season when Runaway beat Lunatic High. Head-to-head, they're 1-1, so it'd be cool to see them face off in sort of a very delayed best-of-3.
Yeah, pretty much any victory there for Runaway would give them that first-place spot, or at least tie them with MVP space, so they desperately want to come up with that one there for themselves. Maybe we'll get to see Kaiser, but honestly, I kind of doubt it, given how well they performed in their first series without him.
Why mess with something working so? Now, Kaiser's a fantastic Reinhardt, but Reinhardt, it's kind of situational. If you lose control and you want to jump onto King's Row, perfect time to bring in Kaiser for sure.
It's one of those moments where it's like, I wish I could swap him in for defensive side and then take him off for offense and just have him, run alongside the Zarya there on something like King's Row, but unfortunately, it's just not the way it works. Once you go for that swap, you are committed, so it's proven to be a bit too big of a risk there for Runaway so far, given their successes. But, yeah, they want to catch up to MVP Space, who has been looking like, the team to beat, oddly enough, other than Kongdu Panthera, here in Apex as a whole.
Group D's already decided, which is fun. Not the order of the teams going out, but with LW Blue being eliminated and Metabellum not being able to... They've already played their 3 matches because their last one was scheduled to be against LW Blue. Then, well, X6 and Combox will be playing off first.
Yeah, that is going to be the case. So, yeah, Group D in a bit of disarray.
Understandably.
But, that's just the way that
Tuesday, though,
the cookie
Achilles.
crumbles. But
remember,
yes.
guys, only 2 match days starting from next week. Tuesday, Friday, like you remember from previous seasons. Tuesday's going to be a banger.
Yeah, and this is going to be an easy one for you guys to stay up and watch because it's only going to be the one best of 5. Runaway versus Lunatic High, one that you certainly do not want to miss. The Season 2 Grand Final rematch with Runaway back in form. Currently second place in the group under Space. Lunatic High need to win this if they're going to be able to make a run back into the round of 8 to try to get a 3rd straight Grand Final appearance.
And who will be playing from Lunatic High? They did not announce Lee Tae-jun in their Team Soul announcement, so will Guido be back on the lineup? Who Are You is said to be their Doomfist player. They could run a Doomfist Genji player for certain. Weirdly, because we don't know that, it feels hard to pick a favorite, but Runaway, from what they've shown in Apex, would be favored against the Lunatic High that lined up before. It won't be that Lunatic High in this instance, and if you're willing to jump onto the Korean stream, there will be Apex challenges starting up as well.
Yeah, so that's going to be kicking things off there on the 28th on Monday. So you can check out some of the, the other up-and-coming teams that might be looking to replace the likes of FlashLux, at the end of this season.
No Lunatic High 2 on the first match day, but they will be playing sometime next week, I'm certain of, so that'll be cool to see. Seeing their members there. Seeing Bunny back in the competitive Overwatch scene is going to be a fun one. But a second match, sadly, was not a fun one. Achilles, sad to see FlashLux basically being a relic of the past. Seems like they're going to have a 1-year stint in Apex and then be done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, still got to give them credit where credit's due. They stuck around for this long. Still very well could. They are the promotion tournament kings. That seems to be where they, kick on their energy, and they have those nice performances where we see Flail and Fleta succeed. So maybe it'll happen again. Who knows?
Ended today, but Luxury Watch Red, that's the team to watch.
That really is. So looking forward to seeing more from those guys. Looking forward to seeing that match on Tuesday. I'll be back next week to bring that to you alongside Wolf. In the meantime, have a good night. We'll see you then.